Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Orcus GK Tutorial. Today we are going to discuss about the Government of India Act 1858. The Government of India Act 1858 was passed in the month of August of that year. By the provisions of this act, the rule of British East India Company came to an end and the Queen of England took over the direct charge of the government from the East India Company. This time, in August 1858, a bill was passed with the title An Act for the Better Government of India. Since that time, India was directly governed by the Royal Crown and all governmental activities were to be performed in the name of Queen of England, that is, the Queen Victoria of that time. Background of the Act. The Royal Crown had been curbing the power of the British East India Company since the passing of the Regulating Act 1773. The renewal of the Charter Acts was empowering the company in retaining its power to continue its rule. But in the last Charter Act, that is 1858, it was the patronage of the Court of Directors for recruiting civil servants that came to an end. Lastly, after the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, the British government was forced to pass the Government of India Act 1858 and to take uh, to take over all the powers from the East India Company. Provisions of the Act. Now, all the territories in India ruled by the British East India Company were to be vested in the name of Queen. The powers and functions of the Court of Directors of East India Company was now handed over to the Secretary of State for India. A council was formed to assist the Secretary of State for India. The administration was totally centralized. The British Indian territories were divided into provinces, and each province had a governor or a lieutenant governor along with a council to assist him. Besides appointing the Secretary of State for India, the British Crown also had the power to directly appoint the Governor General of India and the governors of the presidencies. Here we can notice that the rank of Secretary of State for India was higher than the Governor General of India, and the Governor General of India was responsible for his activities to the Secretary of State. And the Secretary of State for India was the direct representative of the Queen, and he had the ultimate power in British Indian territory, and he had the authority in India. He had the ultimate power and authority in India, and he was also responsible for his activities to the British Parliament only. Besides all of this, all the properties and assets of English East India Company was taken over by the British Crown. The previous contracts, treaties signed during the company rule was now subjected to the Crown. Significance of the Act. The English East India Company's rule in India was finally came to an end. The Crown's rule continued until the partition of India, or we can say the independence of India, 1947. This was today's topic. If the viewers like my video, then I will request them to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.